I wanted to write something topical to read out tonight, but nothing that I started seemed to feel quite right, so I began to think about what's happened to me in the last few weeks since my son went to uni. First, they stopped my child benefit a month before he left. Now this wasn't much, but it left me quite bereft. Then I found that no longer was my full-time job in a school enough hours for working tax credit because, being a selfish fool, I'm single, which means that under the current rules I must now work 30 hours. That's longer than a week at school because I'm not paid for my lunch hours or my holidays, you see. My wages just adjusted over the year accordingly, so my 26.25 hours fell a little short and the belt around my waist got pulled a lot more taut. Now this might not seem like much of a big deal to some of you, but I'm just trying to give you a kind of overview because along with that, they stopped my housing benefit too, and suddenly everything begins to smell like shit. Oops, I mean like poo. Because my housing benefit had ceased, then my council benefit was cut, and now it's starting to feel like an awful fucking lot. So for the first month of being an adult alone, with my children at uni and no one at home, assisting in a primary school every single working day, I've only been living on my take-home pay. This pays for my rent and my council tax bill, which I know is much better than many, but still I'm left with £20 a week after my utilities to buy my food, pay my phone and internet bill, and all the extras that are still there, like I need some shoes that are waterproof for work, and I don't want to sound like a middle-class jerk, but sometimes I like to have a beer with my friends, or buy a book, or a newspaper. My fun never ends, but there's no hope of that with no money to spend. My purse is full of paper, but none of it's actual cash, just worn out old receipts from when I was relatively flash. My fridge and shelves are empty, with nothing left to eat, and I'm stupidly proud, so of this I wouldn't usually speak, but I'm eking out my noodles, counting baked beans like a freak, and my best friend's birthday meal cost my money for a week, and that was without paying for booze. Oh, so bleak. And I don't want to pull at your lovely heartstrings, but I'm educating your children, and it shouldn't be like that. We're paying for a recession caused by banking fat cats. My own austerity measures are of no concern to anybody else, but they may cause a downturn in my mental health. And at the moment, without my tax credits, for my prescriptions I now have to pay, so let's hope I don't have an asthma attack whilst I'm here on stage today, because I can't afford new inhalers on my unrealistic, unlivable wage. This poverty is all-consuming, unlike the recent me. I'm getting very tired of counting every penny. We need an actual solution to this bloody awful mess, something that no party seems keen to address, and we need to do more than just wait for our next vote, putting on the page a cross blind with liberal hope. We need to stand together side by side and hand in hand, and a real living wage for one and all must be our first demand.